some query with regard to managing personal finance. So kindly, frankly, come up with all your questions. Kindly put your question in chat box, and I will request Dr. Shashi Kumar to take down those questions which have come in chat box, and
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely.
and ask the questions. One sessions are over. We have scheduled a question answer session after this. Since this is program for the participants and relating to personal finance, but before coming to the personal finance, I will just share 4 things which every participant should do as quickly, as early as they can. Those who are already earning should do this within next 6 months, and those who are not yet earning but will start earning after some time, they should complete these 4 things maximum in 1 year of their service when they start. So kindly note down these 4 things. These 4 things are not investments, but they are very important to safeguard your investments. They are very important to safeguard the wealth creation. They are very important to safeguard your money. Again, I repeat, these are not investments, but very essential to preempt any dent in your personal finance. The first and foremost thing out of 4 things which I'm just sharing is every individual should have adequate life insurance cover. Every individual. And life insurance cover is not an investment. In our country, even today, insurance is being sold as investment. But very honestly speaking, insurance is not investment. But at the same time, it is more essential than investment even, because insurance can give you giving you mental security that if something happens to you, your family will have reasonable amount to pull it on if in your absence. So every individual, maybe girls or a boy, when they start earning, they should take life insurance cover. I have emphasizing here adequate. Adequate simply means 10 times of your annual income. If your annual income is say 20 lakhs, then you should take ideally life insurance cover of 2 crore. And you will also appreciate, you should also know that life insurance premium is directly related to your age. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. More time you don't take, after some time, after 30, 40, the premium will be much higher. So kindly take life insurance cover as early as you can. Those who are earning should do it. If they have not done it quickly, and if they have insufficient term insurance, they should top up with additional life insurance cover policy. And term insurance is nowadays is the best policy available in the market, which is the most cheapest among the other options like money back and endowment. So I again repeat, the first thing is adequate term life insurance cover for every individual. Secondly, every individual and family should have adequate health insurance cover to meet any medical emergency. And you all know, when medical emergency comes, people have to rush to hospital. And in hospital, particularly in private hospital, when a patient is taken there, they simply ask 2 to 5 lakhs in advance, and they keep asking more money if the treatment goes on. So every individual should have adequate health insurance cover. And a good policy for that is a floater policy, FLOATER, floater policy, which cover not only the person, but also his or her spouse, his or her children, and her or his parents as well. So in one singular policy, you can have life insurance cover of your whole family. So floater policy is a good policy. You should explore that policy for health insurance cover. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium. So kindly take health insurance cover of your family. And adequacy or sufficiency in the present context is that every family should have 15 to 20 lakhs health insurance cover. Third one is, pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons, but the most important thing is pandemic has taught us is that every family should have a reasonable emergency fund, which is handy, they can use at shortest possible time. This emergency fund will take care of any emerging situation, maybe at job level, maybe at family level, maybe at medical level, whatever emergency comes in. And you will appreciate emergency doesn't come by giving notice. It comes unexpected, all of a sudden. So every family should have an emergency fund of around 8 to 10 lakhs. That fund should be handy. Handy means doesn't mean that you should keep it in your box at home or in SB account. You can invest this amount in bank FD or liquid fund. Liquid fund I will touch upon a little bit afterwards. But because both are handy, you can withdraw that money. The handy simply means when you can have money within max in on 1 day notice or 2 day notice. So every family should have an emergency fund. Fourth and last one is not so important even for a student, but it is important that those who have availed housing loan or the students who are going to avail housing loan in future, when they will start earning, when they will have family will definitely desire to have your own house. So when you avail housing loan, either from your employer or from private banks and institutions or housing finance companies, you should take matching accidental insurance cover, which is very, very cheaper, to take care of any unforeseen thing happening to you. And in that eventuality, at least that accidental policy cover will make good of the housing loan which you have taken from the company, and that will be a great support to your family. Suppose why I am saying so, because I have experienced that a person of 33 years died, met with an accident, and he was no more. He had taken housing loan of 50 lakhs for purchase of a flat in Delhi 2 years back only. His wife was a homemaker. His family doesn't have much other money to take care of. So when he was no more, there was a crisis of the house which the family had taken on loan. There were two options available with the family: either to raise personal loan from relations or known friends, or to surrender the house. Raising personal loan of 50 lakhs at once, it is not practical, you will appreciate. So very unfortunately, the wife of that gentleman who was no more had to surrender the house to the housing company. It was a very painful thing. So to avoid that thing, what I am suggesting is, whenever you take housing loan, purchase an accidental insurance cover policy, which is relatively very cheaper, matching the housing loan amount, plus add on some interest as well. So these are four things you should do before thinking about your personal finance. And again, I repeat, early you take, better you will be placed, lesser will be the premium. Now coming to the personal finance topic, you all know what personal finance is. Personal finance is the money which we have. Personal finance is the money which we will need in future. Personal finance is the money which we will need for enjoyment of our life, or to take care of our family expenses, or to take care of milestones in our life. So, and the main source of personal finance for people who are mostly or salary class person, and I appreciate most of the participants, particularly those who are assistant professor and professors, are salary class person, and even among us the students who after completion of their courses will take some job with some company, government department, PSU, or whatever it may be. Some of course will go for enterprise, startup, profession, but they all will have some monthly income. So monthly income is the main source for our middle class person, individuals. And in monthly income, most of the monthly income goes into taking care of our monthly expenses. But still, every Indian, it is in our blood that every Indian don't spend all the money he or she is earning every month. She or he keeps some money away from spending that otherwise he or she could have spent, because there are a lot of essential requirements, desires, luxuries are available in the market to enjoy the life and all these things, but still we sacrifice a lot of things but save some money. The money which we don't consume out of our personal income is called saving, and we all do saving. I need not emphasize here the importance of saving in our life, but we are very casual. I just give you new idea today. Kindly try to explore this idea in your life. Kindly try to practice this idea in your life. That is, when you get salary on the first of every month, what you decide what amount you can comfortably save. Again, you are the decider. You can only you will decide it, because you know your monthly expenses, you know how much money you can save. So first you decide the money which you can comfortably, I am underlying the word comfortably, not pushing yourself too much. Then once you have decided whatever the amount you have decided, kindly keep that amount away first from your salary. The moment you get salary, suppose your salary 50,000, you say I can comfortably save 10,000 a month. Just keep 10,000 the moment you get the salary out of your bank account. And once you do it, and do it religiously and regularly, and you have to be in discipline. This discipline you has to be there, because this is the first step, but the most important step for your prosperity, I tell you. This discipline has to be there. You have to do religiously savings you have identified every month. The second thing is, you must you must increase your saving minimum by 10% every year. And the saving amount from your monthly salary, ideally it should be minimum 20-25% of your income. Suppose you are earning 50,000, so 10,000 should be the, I think, benchmark for your saving. And you should keep increasing the saving amount every month minimum by 10%. So suppose this year you are saving 10,000 a month. Next year it should be 11,000 a month. Third year it should be 12,100 a month. Likewise, it should keep increasing every year till you retire. So this is a must. And we must do saving religiously, regularly, because this is the first step, and but the foremost step. Now the question comes, what we do with saving. What we do with saving? There are two options available with you with regard to saving you have every month. The first option is, you can keep that saving amount at whatever you have saved at a box at home, in a box at a home, or keep that amount in your bank SB account, savings bank account. If you are doing it, this is a gross injustice to yourself, to your family, and to the nation as well. So kindly don't do it if you are doing. If and don't think this. I'm addressing this to students when they start earning. Never do this. Then the second, you will definitely ask what to do then. You must put this saving into some instrument or in some assets, which will either give return or will appreciate in value. This process is called investment. The first step was saving when you took away some money from your monthly income. The second and equal important thing is, you put that savings into some instrument or in some assets which will appreciate over a period of time or which will give you regular return. This is called investment. Though saving is important, but putting your savings into investment mode is equally or rather more important. Because what I tell you, and we Indians are very honestly, we should admit, I don't know whether how many of the assistant professors and professors or persons who are already earners will honestly admit, but it is a fact that most of the middle class, salary class persons are still money accumulators. They are not wealth creators. There is a very thin difference between money accumulator and wealth creator. But I wish you to be a wealth creator. Particularly, I am again addressing to students. Make it a point that you are not a money accumulator. You have to be a wealth creation for prosperity, for taking care of all your life expenses when you need it. It is a must because your monthly salary will be grossly insufficient to take care of all your expenses or money which you will need throughout your life. So we have to be wealth created. This is the first thing I want to tell you. Don't be a money accumulator. Now I will just give a simple example through which I will take you to the root of wealth creation and what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. The example is very simple and I will try to make my whole session non-technical. I will not use any technical word because there may be students from art side also, there may be students from other disciplines also. There may be some participants who are earning, but they are not from commerce or management background. So I wish it to be a more simple and just as we are talking at our drawing room at our home. So here, when the example is very simple. Suppose you have got 1 lakh rupees with you. Now you go for FD with a bank. The present rate of FD is around 6%. I take it 6%, maybe 5.50, whatever it may be, but I take it 6%. So you go for a 1 year FD of your 1 lakh rupees which you have as saving. After 1 year, when I ask you what you have got, what has been the return for you, your answer will be very simple that I have got 6,000 as interest income from the bank and bank has given back my 1 lakh rupees. And my income has been 6,000 on that FD. When I ask, are you right? You will definitely say, yes, I'm absolutely right. I got 6,000 in my bank account and 1 lakh rupees back in my bank account. But here I wish to warn you, you are right, but you are not right. You are right. Of course, you got 6,000 in your bank account. Why you are not right? Because of two factors which you ignored while analyzing 6,000 or while taking 6,000 as your income. The two factors are very important, which we normally ignore. But we know we should not. What are these factors? The first and the foremost factor is the inflation. Inflation is a factor which is every day diminishing the purchasing power of money. And in simple terms, what is inflation? Inflation simply means when you had 1 lakh rupees 1 year earlier, you could have purchased some items, some things, or some services you could have availed from that 1 lakh rupees. Would you be able to take purchase same items or things or can avail same services after 1 year at rupees 1 lakh rupees? I think your answer will be no. Why? Because the prices of those items, things, or the services have increased. Or otherwise speaking, the purchasing power of the money has diminished. Suppose the inflation rate is 5%. So for after 1 year, for the same services, same items, same things, which you could have purchased before 1 year at 1 lakh rupees, now you will need 1.50 lakhs, 1 lakh 5,000 rupees because the inflation of 5% has been there. Now the proposition is very clear. You will need to spend 5,000 more after 1 year. So out of 6,000 you earn, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, which we normally ignore, but we should not. Now, after out of the income of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, because after 1 year you will need 1,05,000 rupees for the same proposition, same items or services. Now, one more small factor is there which we normally ignore. What is it? It is the taxability of income or return. You might all be knowing that most of the income and return are taxable, except some governmental schemes where income is tax free or return is tax free, but they are very few and far. Very few. Most of the income and return is taxable under Income Tax Act. Here again, in bank deposit also, you might be aware that beyond a threshold limit of 10,000, bank interest is chargeable as per your slab. Oh, in income tax is chargeable as per your slab. Here I presume that 6,000 you have earned on FD of 1 lakh rupees is beyond the 10,000 which you might have already earned in some other FDs. So 6,000 is beyond that 10,000. So here again, on 6,000 you will need to pay income tax as well. Suppose you are even in the bracket of 20%, then you will need to pay 1,200 as income tax on 6,000 income of interest. Now you, and you now you see the proposition. Your interest income was 6,000, 5,000 was eaten by the inflation, 1,200 you paid as income tax, and now you should be very aware, you should be well aware that now you can't ignore this payment. Suppose you don't show this in your income tax return, you might get a notice from the income tax department. Because of the technology synergization, every detail of your income is available with the income tax department. So kindly don't do it. You will have to show it in your income tax return as well. So proposition is here, what it comes out. Your interest income was 6,000, 5,000 was eaten by the inflation. You paid 1,200 income tax. So the total outgo becomes 6,200. Your income was 6,000. Literally you lost 200. You got nothing. You got, of course, numerically speaking, you got 6,000. But there was no real return. So kindly mind it. For every investment you make, there has to be some real return. And 6,000 here is your notional return only. And there is no real return, rather there is a loss of 200 rupees. Now I take this example forward. Suppose the rate of interest is 8%. Now in that scenario, you will get 8,000 as interest on the FD of 1 lakh rupees. Out of 8,000, even I presume that inflation is still 5%. Then out of 8,000, 5% will be eaten by the inflation. There will still remain 3,000. Again, you will need to pay 20% income tax, that is 1,600 on the income of 8,000. But even after income tax, there remain and 1,400 rupees. That's your real income. Kindly note, that's your real income. So you should look at you should always look at the real return on your investment. You should never look at your notional return. So in the second scenario, that out of 8,000, 5,000 eaten by the inflation, 1,600 by the income tax on your income, 1,400 was your real return. So if the return is there, 2 to 5% return is there even in the present distress market. If you are getting 2 to 5% real return, your investments are on track. Kindly keep doing that. But if there is no real return, kindly think of switching your investment to some other products where you might get some real return. So the formula of real return is very simple. Real return equal to notional return minus inflation minus tax liability. Now comes when we invest, the most important thing of investment is the rule of compounding, and it is regarded as the eighth wonder of the world. Eighth wonder of the world. Why? Because it will mesmerize you after a certain period if you follow the rule of compounding in your investment philosophy. What is rule of compounding? You all know, you all have studied compounding interest and simple interest when you were in 6th or 7th standard. Rule of compounding simply means whatever return you earn on your investment every year, every periodical period, you should keep reinvest those return as well. Not only the investment of principal amount which you are regularly investing, but also the return which you get should be kept reinvested. And if you do this for 15 to 20 years, you will be happily surprised that your return has become bigger than your principal investment. But that will happen only when your investment are in right direction, investments are on track, and secondly, your investment for longer period, maybe 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. So kindly follow rule of compounding in your investment philosophy always, and keep investment and keep return invested regularly, as in addition to your principal investment which you will keep doing, which we discussed earlier. So this is the most important thing, rule of compounding. Now coming to our life milestones for normal human being, what typically happens for normal human beings, there are milestones in life in normal human, and these milestones are common for all of us. What are these milestones? If you are not married, you will get married. After marriage, children will come your family. Then children will go to school. Then children will grow up. Your family will definitely desire a house on his own. Then family will definitely like to have a 4 vehicle as well for the family if you don't have earlier. Then children will grow up. You will get them admitted in professional or some higher degree colleges for a better career. Then marriage of the children will be a natural thing after a certain period. And after all these, a time will come when you will get retired. You might laugh, students might laugh, I'm asking them about retirement. But it is a natural process, my dear friends. It's a natural process. When you were born, you started going to school, now you're in college. After that, you will go for professional institutes, then start earning, then family. All these things are natural and normal in our life. So these milestones are common to all of us. And for every milestone, we will need huge amount. Suppose you are not married, you are getting married. After 2 years, of course, you will need huge money. Suppose you say my parents will take care of the most of the expenses, but still you would like to contribute something. Then after children will come your life. There will be natural celebration. There will be occasion for celebration. Then after some time, children will start going to school. For his or her admission, you will need good amount in a good public school. Then you will think of have your own house, then your own vehicle, then higher education of the children, then marriage of the children. I just give you just a small exercise. Just a small. Even students I give you. Kindly attempt it. What you do, you just note down the milestones in your life. Take a pen and pencil, sit calmly, and note down the milestones in your life. Suppose you are married, then that portion after marriage, what are the milestones yet to come? And those who are not married, start from marriage. Kindly note down the milestones in your life. Against those milestones, put down the period. Marriage, suppose marriage after 5 years, marriage after 2 years. Okay. Then after then Children will come your life after 3 years or 4 years. Then they will going to school again after 5 to 6 years. Then for house again 7 to 8 years you will need money. Then for purchase of vehicle you will need money. So all these things, note down the milestones, note down the time horizon, and third column you make what money you will need broadly, a budget only. It can't be precise. Suppose for your marriage after 2 years you will need 5 lakhs. Again, a broad presumption. It might not be precise 5 lakhs, maybe 7 lakhs, maybe 4 lakhs. But just to make note of it, note down the 5 lakhs. Likewise, for every milestone, put down the period and the money required. Just make a chart of your milestones. Kindly attempt it. And this is called, in simple words, this is called financial planning. And every individual, every family must have proper financial planning. And we are very casual, honestly speaking, most of us don't do it. But we have to do it. Kindly see the importance of this financial planning, because once you make financial planning of your life, the things are pretty clear before you. How much money you will need at which interval of after which interval, or at which juncture of your life. So the picture is now very clear. The milestones, period, and the money required. And once this is in place, it will give you clear direction, clear goal, clear target to achieve it. Because after 2 years, suppose you are not married, after 2 years you are getting married, you will need 5. From where 5 lakhs will come? Now it is $1 million question. Either you will have to take loan, or the other option is you start saving right from today. Make a target that within 2 years you will have 5 lakhs rupees. So this financial planning, which give a very clear idea of targets. And once targets are there, they are before you. Psychologists say that once targets are written and put before, and you see the target daily, there will be sea change in your thinking. Mind it, there will be sea change. Now, picture is very clear before you. You will get worried. You will get concerned. Not worried, but concerned. Because target is very clear. So financial planning is a must. Every individual should do it. And once you do it, kindly start achieving those targets. It will have no meaning if you don't work hard, if you don't make towards achieving those targets. Target is there, goals is there. But if you don't work for achieving those targets, if you don't work for having 5 lakhs after 2 years, it will have no meaning. It will serve not the purpose. But on the contrary, you will start thinking about achieving those targets. So financial planning is a must. And every individual and family should have proper financial planning. And I repeat here, financial planning is not a rocket science. It is not a complicated thing. The so-called financial experts have made the investment most complicated. It is not. It's a very simple thing. Very simple thing. Investment is a very simple thing. And so you should do it. Financial planning is a must. Now I'm coming to the next point. Why we are not wealth creator? Why we are money accumulator only? Again, it's a very valid question. Everybody wants money, more money, more money, more money. Who doesn't want money? Who doesn't want crores of rupees? Everybody we wish. Everybody, if you wish to be a saint, then matter and that matter is different. But if you are a normal human being living in the society, we will definitely wish to have more and more money in our life, not only to take care of our essentiality, but also for luxuries. So, but why we are still money accumulator? Why Indians are still money accumulator? Why we have not become wealth creator? This is $1 million question. Everybody should address this question to himself or herself. Why we are? Why we not have been wealth creator so far? What lacked us? The one factor which resisted you, which rather didn't allow you to be a wealth creator and kept you as money accumulator, that factor is risk. In most of the investment, risk factor is there. And when we hear about risk, when we somebody says you very honestly that there is a risk in the investment, 90% of the middle class people will run away from those investments. They will simply say, no, we don't want any risk. We want money, but we don't want to take any risk. We want safe investment. This word safe investment has so crept in your mind so deeply that we are not interested to coming out of it. But here, why don't you accept it that life itself is pretty uncertain? There is a risk in life itself. Today you came to the college from your home by driving your car or the two-wheeler. There was a risk on the road, but you drive very cautiously. You maintained a good speed. You saw from rear mirror, from front, from all sides. You take all precautions to take care of risk. So here again, first you should accept that yes, accept some governmental scheme which are risk free. Most of the investments have risk factor. Most of the investments have risk. We should accept it. Now the second question comes, that is very relevant question. Can we manage risk? Are, are we not are we not managing our risk in such a way that when we start earning and when are we not managing our risk in life? We are managing and we are living. Likewise, we can manage risk in investment as well. We can manage risk in investment as well. Now, how to manage risk in investment? I just give you two simple word formula, but it will change your life. It will change your investment philosophy. Kindly note down that formula. And that's it, very simple. Nothing a mathematical equation. Very simple formula I am giving you. The formula is very simple. Think, understand, and invest. Very simple formula. Think, understand, and invest. Now there are two words only. And if you practice these two words in your life, in your investments, most of the investment decision of yours will be fine and good. Kindly practice this formula in your life. And for the first word of this formula is think. Now, what is to be thought? What is to think? Two things you have to think about yourself. The first is your risk appetite. What is your risk appetite? How much risk you can take? And again, I tell you, risk appetite will keep changing according to your age, according to your change in your life, according to development in your life. So risk appetite is not a constant factor. It will keep on changing throughout our life. So and again, every individual had got different risk appetite. I give a simple example. In your college, suppose there are 3 assistant professors of Mr. Shashi Kumar. One is Mr. Shashi Kumar, 2 are others. One is the age of 28 years, second one is 32, and the third one is 35. All are assistant professors. All are having broadly same salary. But then what happens? The first one, 28-year-old who is still not married, can take risk, greater risk. He doesn't have any liability. He is not still married. Second one who is married, not having no children yet, his risk appetite has become a little bit lesser than the first one, but still he can take risk. But the third one, who is of 35 years old, married, having children, children are school going, parents are with him, his risk appetite will be much lesser. So according to age, the risk profile has changed. And so kindly analyze your risk appetite very honestly and judiciously. And take decision according to your risk appetite only. That is why never go with the advice of others, or even when some other friends or relations are investing in some instrument, they might have greater risk appetite you don't have. So don't go just some known person is investing in some instrument, or some relation or some friend or some colleague is investing. You should not rush for that. You should analyze the product and analyze at first your risk appetite. Second one is you must analyze your time horizon for investment. Here I say you this when we were discussing financial planning, I told you that after 2 years, suppose you need 5 lakhs rupees for your marriage and you have started saving, you should invest your saving in such a manner and that the instrument where you are investing or the asset you are creating will give you return in 2 years. Suppose you invest your money in savings into an instrument which will start generating return after 5 years, or which is a scheme for 10, 15 years, then it is a mismatch of risk of the investor and the product. So you should see your time horizon of investment. Those two things you should think about yourself. First is your risk appetite. Second is the time horizon of investment. Now comes second word, understand. First was think. Second was understand. What is understood? What is to be understood? You have to deeply and clearly, distinctly understand the product where you are investing. Maybe it be an asset, maybe it be a financial instrument, whatever it may be. You should analyze that instrument or asset very deeply. What is the asset? Where your money will be invested? In how much time it will start generating return? What is the risk involved in that asset or instrument? Whether it is so risky, more risky than my risk appetite, whether it will start generating return after a longer period, which I wish, whereas my wish is to get return in 2 years or 3 years. What is the product? Where your money will be invested? All these things have to be understood very clearly and distinctly. So that again, I repeat two words: think, understand. And if when you pass the bridge of both these words, then you can safely invest your savings. So by this formula, you can manage your risk to a greater extent. You can manage it. I tell you, you can manage it. So kindly make investment and manage your risk by this simple formula. Now I'm coming where we can invest. We can invest for money. And what are the products available in the market for investment? The first are governmental schemes where you can invest your money, like post office schemes, like banks scheme, like government scheme, treasury bonds. Then RBI bonds are there. Then PPF is there, NSE is there, and then after then RBI bonds are there. Then PSU, public sector bonds or debentures are there. These are risk-free investments. There is no risk. There is no risk in this because government has stood as a guarantee. But at the same time, most of the governmental schemes are for longer period. PPF is for 15 plus 5 years, NSC for 5 years, and all these things you have to look at in such a manner that that though they are risk free, but return is relatively reasonable. There is no extraordinary return because economics rule is very clear: more risk, more reward. If you take more risk, there is better chances of better or higher return. No guarantee. Again, I tell you, no guarantee. More risk. So if you take more risk, then the chances of getting higher return are brighter. There are better chances of getting higher return in the products with the risk is high. But it is no, again I say it is not guaranteed that you take high risk and higher return is guaranteed. It is not like that. So you should put your some of your savings into governmental scheme definitely, definitely, because tax exemptions are also there. Some other benefits are also there, and there is no risk. So, and there is one more the thing I wish to tell here, that you should develop a basket of investment. You should not put all your egg in one basket. You should put your some of your savings into governmental schemes, some of in RBI, some of in PSU, some of with risk prone investment as well. So, but these are firstly government schemes. Second is you can invest in real estate. That option is also available with you. Third is gold. You can invest in gold. That option is also available you. Fourth is security market where you can invest. But here in security market like gold and real estate, risk is there. Rather greater risk is there. And third, and top of it, it is a knowledge-based market. You should have adequate knowledge of the market, of the corporates, of the economy, of the company, of the shares, of the sector. All these things you should have knowledge. How market moves, what is the movement of the market, all this. So security market is a proposition where risk is there, but it has given you highest return. Last 35 years, security market has averagely given you 13.5% annual return, which no other product has given. Maybe it gold, maybe real estate, maybe governmental schemes, all have given return average below 10 for last 35 years. Again, of average I'm talking about. And one more example I wish to share with you. A person who had invested 10,000 rupees in Infosys shares when first IPO was there in 1995. That 10,000 has become 28 lakhs today after almost 25 years. But here are the two very important things to look at. Firstly, 10,000 before 25 years. And when 10,000 invested, it was kept invested, it was not taken out. So 10,000 had become in 25 years. And only to those who didn't got their money back, they kept this invested. So the period is very important. It is for longer period. For middle class people like you and me, don't be a jobber or trader. You might have not heard these words, but there are some, even some young investors who have started daily trading and daily jobber, they purchase and share on daily basis. It's a very risky proposition. Don't do it unless and until uh, you are having knowledge about the market and you have risk appetite. Please don't go into uh, jobbers for trading thing in security market. On the contrary, what I will suggest you, kindly go for investment for longer period. Keep investing regularly, right from the day you start your life as an earner. When you get job or from profession, start professional, right from first month of your life, you should start investing. Keep investing throughout your life, increase your investment every year, and put your don't enjoy the fruits of return, don't consume that return, keep it keep reinvested those returns. So here again I tell you, the most important thing in life is that uh, in security market is that it is a knowledge based market, it is a risky market, but it is a rewarding market. It is a rewarding market, but for the longer period. Though there are three segments in security market. First is primary market, when the corporate directly offers shares to the public and public accept it, take it, and shares are allotted to him and they become owner of the company. Secondly, when you can this is called primary market, when corporate and investor in directly in touch. Second is second segment is secondary market. Secondary market simply means when you can purchase or sell shares or debenture of any company listed on the stock exchanges. Crores of shares and debentures are sold and purchased every day. You definitely see the market movements. This is called secondary market, where if you didn't get shares when company issued it, you can purchase company share of those company or that company whenever you wish it, or sell those shares whenever you wish it. This is through some mechanism, but it is called secondary market. Third one is mutual fund. Mutual fund is nothing but a trust. Mutual fund is a trust where you give your savings to professionals for investing your money according to their wisdom, experience, knowledge, and expertise. So here you are not directly investing, you are simply giving your money to the experts. They will take a call and invest your money according to your dictum, according to your advice. That is a must, because selection of a scheme is your domain. You will select the scheme, and once you select the scheme, the fund manager will invest your money according to the overall object of that scheme. He or she can't go beyond that object. So object you will decide, time horizon you will decide, because every scheme has got different object, different time horizon. So that call you will take, but once you take a call, give your money, then how they invest your money, when they invest your money, in which product they invest your money, that will be decided by the experts. But joining a scheme will be your selection. So that is very important that you read the scheme very carefully, because in the first paragraph of the scheme itself, it is clearly mandated where your money will be invested. Suppose it is an equity fund, it means your money will be invested into the equities of the corporates. Suppose it is a debt fund, it simply means your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. Mutual fund is not security market only, it is beyond security market also, because there are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money into gold. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money into real estate. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money into international companies, Google, Amazon, Facebook. There are big corporates. There are schemes which will invest your money in those big corporates. So there are thousands of schemes available for you as per your risk appetite, as per your time horizon. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will generate interest or income for on daily basis. Every day they will generate interest for you. That is called liquid fund or overnight funds. There are schemes which will which will start generating return after 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. So those schemes are also there. Only thing is you have to take a call according to your risk appetite, according to your time horizon. Mutual fund is professionally managed funds. They are managed by the professionals who will invest your money, and there are better chances, relatively better chances of good investment, because they are experts. They live in the market 24 hours. Then you can diversify your investment through mutual fund. Because suppose you wish to purchase a 10 share of a company, that is a very big company, and suppose for 10 shares even you say 5 lakhs is required, but you have 50,000 only. But still you can purchase a fraction of those shares of those companies through mutual fund, because if you invest in mutual fund and like yours, lakhs of other people are investing in mutual fund, that corpus can purchase shares of those companies. So that diversification will be there. Mutual funds are most transparent. Once you invest your money, Evening, you will get a message that your money has been invested in the units of that scheme. This much of units have been allotted to you at this rate. Every fortnight, you will get a report through on your email where your money has been invested penny wise. Matlab, which company, which share, every detail will be shared by the mutual fund manager to you every fortnight. Then additionally, SEBI has attached riskometer with every scheme. Riskometer will give you a clear idea about the risk in the scheme. And from 1st January 2021, with every scheme, a riskometer has been attached by SEBI, and riskometer will give you a clear idea even to the layman and to a normal investor how much risk is involved in that scheme. If the key of that riskometer is towards left, it means there is lesser risk. If it is increasing, it means risk is increasing. If tilts to our right, means there is higher risk. It will show you once you open the scheme, so you can decide according to your risk appetite. If you want to take risk, invest in higher risk products, because the chances of return is very good. But if you don't want to take risk, go to the schemes which have lesser risk or literally sometimes no risk. In mutual fund, you can invest through two types. One is direct investment. Direct means simply go to the website of the AMC, decide the scheme, fill the form online, and invest. That is direct plan. That is more beneficial to you because there is no third person between you and the AMC. So you will be getting better return. The other option is regular plan, where you are going through some mutual fund distributor. And when you are going to the mutual fund distributor, definitely some fee or some commission will be paid to him. And that commission fee will be charged from you, from your income, from your savings. So if you are tax savvy, go for direct plan only. That is greatly beneficial to the investor. But if you are not tax savvy, if you are not able to do through direct plan, don't stop it. At least just start investing through regular plan. So you can get the flair, you get that experience of mutual fund down the line after 2, 3, 5 years. But start investing. Then SIP is the most convenient way of investing in mutual fund. Systematic investment plan, and this is more beneficial to salary class person. Minimum 500 rupees SIP you can start in the scheme you have selected. And once you started, you complete the formality, complete the form. 500 rupees will be deducted from your bank account on the date you have specified and invested. And on every investment, you will get the details. So over a period of time, down the line, 5 year, 10 year, even with the investment of 500 rupees, you will have bigger corpus after 5 years or 10 years. So even I will request students to get on hand experience in mutual fund, start SIP of 500 rupees. And those who are already earners, they can have goal oriented SIP. Goal oriented simply means, suppose after 2 years you need 5 lakhs rupees, have a scheme which have lesser risk appetite, time horizon 2 years. Then after 5 years, suppose you foresee a need of 10 lakhs, have different SIP in a different scheme. Broadly speaking, if your time horizon is less than 5 years, then majorly your investment should be in debt schemes. If your time horizon is beyond 5 years, then you can think of investing your money into equity. But again, your age profile is equally important, and age profile simply means 100 minus your age. Suppose your age is 30, 100 minus 30 means 70. Means 70% of your investment should be in equity because you have longer horizon. But a person who is of 55, 58 years, 90% of his investment should be in debt fund. There are broadly two categories of mutual fund. One is equity, other is debt. In equity, your money is invested into the shares of the company, and when it is invested into the share of the company, you become owner. And when you become owner, You will appreciate that if the company performs very well, you will get handsome return. If the company doesn't perform very well, you will not get so handsome return. If the company doesn't perform at all or doesn't have any profit, you will get nothing. If the company goes into losses, whatever money you have invested might shrink temporarily, not permanently, but temporarily. Because next year company might bounce back and start making profit. But temporarily it might go down. So here the risk is greater, but the reward is there. The other category is, the first category is equity fund. Second category is debt fund. In debt fund, your money is not invested into equity of the company. Your money, your savings is given as a loan to the corporates. And when it is given as a loan to the corporate, the risk is lesser. Because if the company perform extraordinarily, they will not give you more interest than what has been decided or whatever has been promised. If the company doesn't perform well, still you will get the fixed return or the return which had been, or the interest which have been agreed to. Even when company goes into losses, there are brighter chances that you will get uh, fixed return on your investment because your money has been given as a loan to the corporate. So debt fund are more suited to the persons who are above 55. Equity funds are suited more to the people who are younger, who are 25, 30, 35. They should continue investing their money into equity fund for a longer period, but after 55, they should start switching their money into debt funds. And mutual funds, there is one more scheme which is called SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. Suppose you have created a corpus of 2-3 crores after 20 years. Now you are going to retire. You might have pension, but pension might not be sufficient. And your expenses are more than your pension. Then this is the option available for you. When you retire, suppose you have corpus of 3 crore and you need 2 lakhs rupees per month to take care of your life after retirement. You will definitely like to have same standard of life which you were used to when you were earning. But 2 lakh, your pension is 50,000 only. So 1.5 lakhs you can withdraw from your mutual fund corpus every month. You simply give instruction to the mutual fund. Now I have retired. Please keep transferring 1.5 lakhs rupees per month in my account. They will religiously do it. So what is the benefit? You will have 2 lakhs rupees. You can enjoy your life as you were hitherto been enjoying. Now, additionally, whatever amount remained with them, suppose 1.5 lakhs means and you had a corpus of 3 crore. So 2.9, 8.5 crore corpus will be with them, will be kept invested, and you will continue earning return on those investments. So SWP is a better proposition. Now, lastly, 2-3 things I wish to tell you about general investment. Never go investment with the advice of any person, particularly agents. Whenever any scheme comes to you, analyze that scheme in the light of your risk appetite and your time horizon of investment. Take time to decide investment. Don't be in hurry. Never decide in a hurried manner about investment. Take your time to decide. Understand the product very well. Then whenever you invest, there is some formality to be done. Some form is to be filled up. Fill the form in your own handwriting. Take out time. Mostly, this is a blunder we are all doing, even so-called educated persons. They simply sign and give the check to the agent and tell him to fill the required information. No, never do it. It's a blunder you are doing. Take out, it is your hard-earned money. Give all the information correctly, but it will avoid anything, any problem in future. Kindly do it. And lastly, most importantly, I know the professors here are not doing it, the earners are not doing it, but even the parents of the students who are joining here are not doing it. But never invest your hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund committees. these are scams. They will simply run away with your money. There have been a broad survey which has conveyed that more than 10 lakhs crores of rupees of hard money of people like you and me, and even the downtrodden segment of the society, have been looted by these scamsters, by these so-called Ponzi scheme and chit funds. So kindly make it a point that you will never invest your money in such unregulated scheme for the which give higher return promise, which give promise of doubling your money in very short period, which is otherwise not possible. Students, I will tell you, go to the home and ask your parents if they have invested their hard-earned money into some Ponzi schemes. Make it a point of withdraw that money as early as possible. Is practical, and in future they should never invest their money in Ponzi and chitcom. And I will request the dean of the college and principal of the college. This is social cause. This is a social service for all of us. Since we are very fortunate, we are educated person, we should spread awareness among the not so privileged class of the society: peon, driver, maid servant, small shopkeeper, electrician, plumber, to make them aware not to invest their hard-earned money into some schemes. If they don't have any knowledge, simply put their money into post office or banks. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope I might have been able to convey some information to you which might be useful to you. Thank you very much again. Mr. Shashi Kumar.
Doctor, sir, unmute your audio, sir. Please, sir.
Dr. Shashi Kumar.
Dr. Shashi Kumar, sir, unmute your audio, sir.
Sarjar Sahab, kindly see he not able to unmute himself.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Sarjar, please see. Hello.
Sir, actually,
yeah.
I has left the meeting and rejoins. There is some issue, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
So thank you, sir. Actually, it's a brainstorming session, sir. You gave a lot of valuable information regarding savings and other financial aspects, and we believe that the information provided by you is will be beneficial to the participants. And thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us. And making the session successful, sir. On behalf of Vivekananda College of Arts and Science, we extend our gratitude to you, sir. So, despite of your busy schedule, so sir has accepted our invitation and joined with us. We once again thank you, sir.
Haji.
Okay.
हाँ, मेरा तो हो गया पूरा. हाँ.
Continue, sir. Dr. K. Shashi Kumar.
There is a small instruction for the participants, and there is another session. So it is to be addressed by Shri Suryakant Sharma, sir. So sir is a senior consultant from AMFI, and he's a former DGM of so next session will be handled by Shri Nitin Joshi, sir, Vice President of NSDL. Sir is going to address very shortly. And after the session over, we will share the feedback link through the chat box, and you can fill it up and you can get the e-certificate generated to your mail. Okay. And the few participants cannot join the link because we have to actually reach the maximum participants. So we have shared the YouTube link also. Okay. So for those participants also, we will share it with the chat box. Okay. We can make a place of that and we can fill the feedback form to generate the certificate. Okay. And now let me invite Ms. Sneha from third department of Vikas to give a short introduction about our invited speaker, Shri Nitin Joshi sir, Vice President of USDL. We welcome Sneha. Sneha, are you online? Can you audible? Okay, so since it has been requested by few participants, if you have any clarifications, please we can discuss with our resource person. Sir? Few participants. Subject, sir? Madam,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so the participants, you can clarify your queries with our resource person.
Sir, your voice not clear, sir. Please, sir, your voice not clear.
So now is it also audible, sir?
Are we having a session on NPS or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are having, sir. Okay.
So we'll be having the clarification post the session, or you want to have clarification first for Suryakanth Sharma sir's session and then have an NPS? How do you want to?
Okay, sir. So a few participants posted as a message, sir. Okay. So let's start the session, sir. And I think there is some technical issues with the Sneha. And let me invite Sri Nitin Joshi, sir. And before that, I will give a short introduction about our resource person. So resource person Nitin Joshi is a Vice President of USDL E-Governance and Infrastructure Limited. And he is a chartered accountant from cost and accountant management. And he is being sharpened with skills of leadership and management from IIM Kolkata and Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. And our resource person is having more than 32 years of experience in the field of finance, accounting, depository, and e-governance. Okay. So we have such an eminent person for the today's session. We welcome on behalf of Grand College of Arts and Science and on behalf of all the participants, we welcome a resource person. Please, sir, we are going to address audience, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Kumar, and thanks a lot the organizers and Mr. Sharma for giving us an opportunity to be part of this August gathering. I'm really happy to see that we have achieved the full numbers in Zoom. Generally, whenever we have these sessions, we still have some sizable amount which is available, but today the participation is really good. So I would just quickly take you through with NPS and what NPS is and why it is important. Taking forward from what Sharmaji was talking about investments and why investments are important. During the course of his session, he had talked about compounding. He had talked about different life goals that you people have. And I understand quite a substantial number of the participants would be the students who would, as Sharmaji was also saying, would be saying that we are not even into our career, we not yet started our working career. And we are asked to join for a session which talks about retirement. What can be more idiotic than this? So from the perspective of the participants, the students, their thinking is correct because they have not as yet started their career and we are talking about their retirement. But from the perspective of investments and perspective of starting early, it is very important that everybody of us are aware of what retirement entails. Why is it important to plan for retirement? So this is where national pension system comes into play. So just to give you a brief, as Sharmaji was saying, you would always be having your own goals, life goals. If I take an example of the student, initially it would be having a job. Once they have a job, they'll start saving for their home or for a car or for a mobile or for a laptop, whatever it is. Once they have that, they'll look forward for another goal after 2-3 years, which would be having another, maybe a home, maybe getting married. Once that is covered, and they'll save for all these. Once that target is achieved, they look forward for another goal, which would be children, education of children, then another goal. So what happens is throughout our life, we have certain goals. We save to have enough money for that goals. And once we achieve that goal, we look forward for another goal. So as we said, our goals get changing. And generally, whatever goals we have, they are at an horizon, time horizon of 10 to 15 years. So by the time we are of 45, 46, 47 years of age, the retirement comes into our horizon. And then we start planning for retirement. And what we need to understand, all of you need to understand right now is that when you are 45, 46 years of age, and generally in India, the superannuation age is 60 years, you have not more than 15 years to accumulate a corpus which will help you in your life after 60 years. So generally, the life expectancy in India as of now is around 80. So we are looking at in these 15 years earning enough money to take care of my daily needs as well as saving enough to ensure that my next 20 years are taken care of. And it is not only me, my family also. My dependent wife, if my dependent husband, depending upon whether I'm a male or female, my dependent children, if they are there, and any other family members that are there. So I have to ensure that within this 15 years, I have that much money. Would it be possible? It is certainly possible, but very difficult to do so because my time horizon for making investment is very short. And my requirement for money is very long after 60 years of age. So it is very important that I start as early as possible. Another good example that we give in financial market is that you should dig your well before the drought comes. How do we interpolate it in our daily life? You all would be remembering around 1 or 2 years ago, there was a big hurricane that came. So what all of us did, and even for this lockdown period in COVID and all, we had stocked enough material for us to take care of those days when we were not able to get out of the house. So we had stocked enough. So my post-retirement life also, I need to stock enough to ensure that after my retirement, I have enough money to take care of that because my regular income is no longer there. So that is why we say that you should have your well, which has enough water in it before the drought comes. Otherwise, you would be just having a pit, a moist pit maybe, but not enough money or not enough water in it. And to give another importance of what retirement planning and how important it is, I'll just give one more example and then I'll move to a small presentation on NPS. Whenever we look at our life, there are basically two kinds of risks that are there. First risk is risk of dying too early. When I say, and please, everybody, all the students, the teachers, professors, the administrators, you need to listen to this. Risk of dying too early is I'm dying before my decent enough life I've had. How it affects me, it won't affect me because I would no longer be there. But it would affect my family, my dependents. So to take care of them, I take an insurance. So what I do to take care of my risk of dying too early, I'm taking an insurance policy so that whenever anything happens to me, my immediate family members, my loved ones have enough finance that they are able to sustain themselves for some time. Dramatically opposite risk of this is risk of living too long. So what was the first risk? Risk of dying too early. Second is risk of living too long. Now, who is this who get affected by this risk? It is me who is getting affected by this risk. If I live too long, I need to ensure that I'm able to sustain that longevity. How do I do that? After 60 years, do I have that money to do that? So it becomes very imperative on my part to start as early as possible and ensure that I have enough corpus to have my life post-retirement in a comfortable way. I'll take you through a small presentation of 5-10 minutes and then we'll end the session with the question answers. I will just be sharing my screen. Kindly tell me if you are able to see the screen. Is my screen visible? Hello, are you able to see the presentation, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. So, having given the background of what retirement planning, why it is important, I'll just take you through to advantage of starting early. Now, you'll see that what we have done out here, we have taken example of two people. One is the age of 40 years, another is the age of 30 years. They both decide at age of 40 and 30 respectively to start their retirement planning. And they decided till the age of 60, they'll be investing for their retirement. So once they started investing, they decided that they will be investing same amount of money during that period of 60 years. So the age of the person who is at age of 40 to invest 10,80,000 in 20 years, he is invested 4,500 rupees per month. Another person who is age of 30, he invested 3,000 rupees per month. In their corpus creation, they both invested same amount of money, which is 10,80,000. But because Ramesh started, the first one started late, second one started early. Just look at the returns that are there and the total corpus that is there after they come to age of 60 years of age. So Ramesh, having started late, has a corpus of only 26 lakhs. Suresh started early, having invested same amount of money, and every year also having extra money in his hand every month. He is having a corpus of 45 lakhs. This is where the beauty of compounding and beauty of starting early comes into play. That is why I was telling the students who are there that you should start as early as possible to plan for your retirement. But the age that you would be now, you should plan for your retirement, but not just plan for your retirement. You should also plan for your daily needs, for your regular investments. But at the same time, just ensure that a certain portion of your investments goes into retirement planning. And as your age grows, this amount gets started increasing so that at the age of 60 years, you have a decent enough corpus to take care of yourself. Now we'll be telling you that what national pension system helps you in this. National pension system is basically a scheme promoted and regulated by Government of India, whereby during your working years, that is till the age of 60 years, you can invest regularly at your own convenience, so that after the age of 60 years, you have a corpus to take care of a lump sum money at that point of time, as well as have some regular inflow to take care of your post-retirement needs. So different entities that are involved out here is on the left-hand side top, PFRDA, that is Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. They are the regulators of the system. They regulate the whole process. Then you have National Pension System Trust. They are the owners of the assets which are invested, just like any mutual fund which has a trust which manages it. We have NPS Trust which manages the whole system. Point of presence are those units, those particular, I would say, entities who act as an interface between the subscribers, that are the people like you and me, and the NPS intermediaries. Fund managers are the people who would actually be investing your money. As Sharmaji said that in mutual fund, you have experts who invest your money. Similarly, in national pension system, your money is pooled, and in this pool is invested by the fund managers who are appointed by PFRDA and regulated and monitored by NPS Trust. In the center is NSDL, or Central Record Keeping Agency, who keeps and records of all the accounts, as well as when the money was invested, at which rate this money was invested, what are the units allotted to this money, and what is the current price, current corpus of this money. And when the subscriber wants to move out, the CRA ensures that they get the lump sum or the annuity or a combination as they want to do. Then NPS as a system is open for any person which is between 18 to 65 years of age. You get a unique PRAN. Well, what we call PRAN is a permanent retirement account number. It is unique as in it is unique to an individual. So one individual can only have one PRAN. And whenever I move, because this is a long-term process. Today I'm working with a private organization. Tomorrow I might join a government department. Within government, I might be in one department today. Tomorrow I might be in another department. After few years, I might move out again from government and start my own business. So my number, my permanent account number, retirement account number will remain same and will move along with me. Therefore, it is known as unique and portable. I have an option of pension and investment account that we'll talk later. During the course of this period, because as we understand, NPS investments are long-term investments. Certainly, there would be requirements of money in the intervening period by the person. So PFRDA has allowed withdrawals in certain critical conditions, which are known as partial withdrawals. So it is not that once the money is invested, it is totally blocked for 60 years. But yes, a certain percentage of that can be withdrawn, which is 25% of your own contribution, subject to certain conditions and subject to certain periodicity. So based on that, the partial withdrawals are allowed. Exit we'll talk about later. Tax benefits are very important. In India, basically what happens, if I ask anybody to invest, their investment pattern, their investment portfolio, their investment policy might be different. But whenever there is any tax incentive attached to it, people jump on it. So NPS provides you 4 or 5 different tax benefits, wherein first tax benefit is what I get under Section 80C, 1,50,000, which is there. So I can invest in NPS and get a benefit of 1,50,000. There is another exclusive benefit of 50,000 rupees, which is only available in National Pension System and no other investment portfolio across the India and world. So if I invest in NPS, I get exclusive tax benefit of 50,000 rupees. So what I can do, I can invest 1,50,000 and take tax benefit in Section 80C and have an additional tax benefit of 80CCD1B of 50,000, or I can invest whatever amount I want and take benefit in whichever section I want. And I can also take benefit in both the sections. So that flexibility is available with me. How this taking benefit of Section 50,000, Section 80 CCD1B comes into play, we'll take an example of 2 people, both being in highest tax bracket of 30% and both having 50,000 rupees. Now, the person who invests in NPS is investing the full 50,000 in it and not paying any tax. The person who is not investing in NPS is indirectly paying a tax of 30% on the 50,000 that he has. Effectively, what he has in his hand as notional and real, what if you remember what Chamaji was telling, is only 35,000. So when he invests at 35,000, after 20 years at rate of 8%, there is a difference of around 6 lakhs. If you 7 lakhs, if you look at this amount to be 10%, then the difference is around 9 lakhs. Nothing. Returns are same, everything is same. Only one person is taking tax benefit of 50,000, other person is not taking the tax benefit. And you can see the difference. So that is again how NPS helps you not only in tax planning, but also getting sizable returns. Now this again is another example of how restructuring of your salary helps you in getting tax benefit. We'll take the left columns out there, which says salary of 15 lakhs. We'll take this example only. There's first person who has a gross salary of 15 lakh. Another also have a gross salary of 15 lakh. First person has a basic of 7.5 lakhs, another income of 7.5 lakhs. The second person, what they do, they say that let my basic be 7.5 lakhs, but 10% of my basic, my employer should contribute into my NPS account. So from their salary, the balance 7.5 lakhs, 10%, 75,000 is deposited by the employer in National Pension System account of the employee. Now, who is depositing? Employer is depositing on behalf of employee as part of the salary. Now, total outgo for the employer remains same, 15 lakhs. My gross salary remains same. But look at the tax calculation at the bottom. I am having a saving of 39,000 rupees in a year because of 2 things which I am doing. One, my NPS contribution is being contributed by my employer of 75,000, which I get tax benefit. And another, I am taking tax benefit under Section 80 CCD1B. So if I don't take this tax benefit of Section 80 CCD1B, 15,000 would be added out there and my balance would be around 24. So even just look at this, my employer in contributing on my behalf gives me a sizable tax benefit on this. So a person who uses NPS judiciously gets a very high tax benefit just by taking the basic examples that we have. This we have already taken. Now, how do you open an NPS account? You can approach any point of presence, which are physical offices where you have to approach, given the form and take open an account, or given the COVID scenario and given the digitization that is there across the country, you can do it online through something which is known as eNPS. You can visit our site enps.nsdl.com and open an account based on Aadhaar and e-sign, and your account will get opened then and there itself, and you can start contribution on the go. Now, when you open an account, there are two things that you need to decide. One is that who would be managing your assets. That is whatever the contributions you are making, like in mutual fund. Whenever you invest in mutual fund, you allow your mutual fund manager to invest your money on your behalf in the rules defined by the scheme where you are investing. Similarly, in NPS, you have to select a fund manager who will be investing on your behalf. Then you also have to select in which proportion would he be investing your money. Here the proportion is and distribution of your money between equity, corporate bonds, and government securities, each having their own risk profile. So if I am financially educated, I can take my own financial decisions. I would decide on my own how much percentage should go in equity, how much percentage should go in corporate bonds, how much percentage should go in government securities. This is known as active choice. If I am not that literate, I would leave that to the fund manager based upon my age profile. So when I'm younger, the better, the higher proportion would be there in equity. And as my age grows, my equity portfolio gets reduced and higher proportion gets invested into corporate bonds and government securities. This is known as auto choice or life cycle investment. And I always have an option to change my fund manager or my investment choice if I am not satisfied with whatever the returns I'm getting generated. So I want to delve deep into this that we have already discussed. Now we'll just come to what happens at the age of 60 years. At the age of 60 years, I can decide to continue with my NPS account. I'll say that I have, for my retirement, I'm getting other avenues, there are other sources from which I'm getting that money at that point of time. So I would not like to take any money as of now, and to continue with NPS account and continue taking the tax benefits that I am having. So that is known as continuation of the NPS account. Another is I would say that I can either defer my lump sum withdrawal. I'll tell you in the next point what it is, or I can defer taking the pension. It is known as deferment. It can be deferred for 10 years. Last point is I'll say that I want to exit from NPS as of now. So once I decide on that, I would be getting 60% of whatever balance is there in my account as lump sum, and 40% I'll be getting as regular pension. So from 40% I'll be getting regular pension, and maximum 60% I can withdraw at lump sum. We have taken an example out here where a person has a corpus of 50 lakhs. So 30 lakhs he would be withdrawing as lump sum, and 20 lakhs he would be getting as pension. These are the some people who would be providing you the annuity, as we call it, which is known as pension. So these are annuity service providers. I'm sorry, few of your students are trying to act smart and they are creating a nuisance. But anyway, this is the screen that I'm sure that all of you would be seeing. So I can't help it out. So you will have to bear with your
you please don't make some scribblings on the screen.
At the event of that of the subscriber, whatever the corpus is there would be given to the nominee, whomsoever has I have nominated. That my nominee would be getting the lump sum or the annuity or a combination based upon whatever I decide. There's another important point out here, which unfortunately, I think that you people might not be able to see, which is known as a Tier 2. Tier 2 is just like an account that I have discussed till now. Only difference is that the account Tier 1 that I've discussed till now has a tax benefit, but withdrawals are limited. In Tier 2, I can invest whenever I want, I can withdraw whenever I want, and there is no limit as to the amount that I invest, the withdrawals that I do, but there is no tax benefit in there. If you want to see the returns of NPS, you can visit NPS Trust, the owner of the assets. Their website is NPS Trust.
एक मिनट, Mr. Sabjar, If possible, kindly just remove this boy who has been doing this mischief.
ये कौन सा होगा ये मतलब ये कहाँ से
अब आप देख लीजिए.
सर ये
I
नहीं कर
don't know.
पाएंगे, वो नहीं कर पाएंगे, उनको मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा, वो नाम आ रहे थे, कोई चित्रा नाम आ रहा था, कुछ नाम आ रहा था, बट एनीवे आई एम एनीवे एट द लास्ट ऑफ माय स्लाइड्स, आई एम फिनिशिंग इट ऑफ. मेरे ख्याल से कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. I'm just at the last of the slides. I'll finish it.
Yeah, just I'm also attempting, sir, but it's not possible from my side.
You won't be able to do it, sir. You won't be able to.
It is not possible also from my side, sir.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay.
I'm telling you, you won't be able to do it.
Okay, sir.
So, what
I
I would
request
request
all
all of
to-
you,
I request
There
all
is-
to Sanjay sir. Dr. K.
this is my last slide. I'll
Yeah.
just close. Sabraji, I'll just close. This is my last slide. Just let me say one point. We have a YouTube website which is known as NPS Ki Pathshala. What I would request, you can visit that website and get more information about NPS, because unfortunately I would not be able to give any more clarity on it, being that the way that people are being doing on the screen. Thanks a lot. I'll close my session.
Okay, so participants, so it's been the session is being on YouTube live. Okay, so please don't involve in such type of unparliamentary activities. Okay, anyway, so we thank you. We extend our gratitude to our resource person Nitin Joshi sir, so Vice President of NSDL, for sharing his valuable thoughts and his wide area of experience. On behalf of Mayor College of Arts and Science for Women, and we extend our sincere gratitude to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us to make the session successful. Okay. And sir, can we go on with the question and answer?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. So the participants, you can make the clarifications right now. Okay, so if you have any clarifications, you please. Okay. So the participants, if you have any clarifications, you please get it clarified with our resource persons.
Sir, one small doubt, sir.
Yeah, please, sir.
I'm Dr. Malesh. Sir, a national pension scheme is there, no? If it is a 40 to 43 age, can we start this?
Any person between age of 18 to 65 can do it. So you can always start. There's no issues in not starting. What I was trying to say is that at the start, when I started my presentation, is that you should start as early as possible. That was the whole idea of giving example of 45, 46 years. It is not saying that you cannot do it after that.
Yes, sir. Any agents we have to approach or online we can do directly?
You can do it online. enps.nsdl.com is the website. ENPS, E as an electronic, National Pension System, enps.nsdl.com. And based on your Aadhaar, you can do it online. You can e-sign it out there. There is no requirement for you to send any document to anybody.
Okay, sir. You said some channel is there, no, sir, to go ahead.
And there are channels, point of presence, we call it. For if you want to approach through a point of presence, then
not
you
that,
need to.
to get more knowledge, you said YouTube.
So that's YouTube channel. That is NPS Ki Pathshala. NPS Ki Pathshala. Pathshala in Hindi we call the school and all.
Yes,
So it is basically NPS Ki Pathshala, but the all the videos are in English. So you can visit that channel and subscribe to that channel. You can.
Hello,
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
I am saving in NPS Tier Second as I'm an employee, government employee having a salary of around 40,000. I am saving in NPS Tier Second. Okay, sir. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Go ahead.
I am saving in NPS Tier Second. Okay. Is that tax? Is that do I have any tax benefits in that? I want to confirm.
If you are a central government employee,
I'm state government.
then only you have tax. Yeah, I'm replying to your question. If you are a central government employee, then only you get tax benefit in Tier 2 investments. But as a state government employee, I would like to ask you, when you're saying, your question, you said tier 2. So I'm giving you answer of tier 2 only. Tier 2 tax benefit is available only for central government employees. That too started around a year back. But what I would like to ask you is, as a state government employee, this investment that you are saying is happening is through your salary deduction, or you are yourself contributing into your account from yourself? I would just like to understand.
Tier first is state contributing, and tier 2 that I'm doing is my contribution.
Is additional. No, ma'am. If you look at your account, your contribution of 10% of your salary
Is
and
tier
state
first.
government's contribution, yes. Your
Yes.
tier 2, you need to invest separately. So if you look at it, your
Yes. I'm contributing it on separately. Yes.
then it's all right. So whatever your investment you are doing in your tier 1, where your salary deductions are happening, you would get tax benefit on that. But as a state
Okay,
government
not in
employee,
tier.
you would not get tax benefit on the tier 2 investment that you are doing
Tier.
it from your own end. That is how the Income Tax Act stands as of today.
Okay, sir. Okay. Can I invest in some different schemes that can help me and get more benefits in this title, so that I can earn more in time?
In NPS, ma'am, you can visit NPS Trust website, npstrust.org.in. You will get returns of details of all the returns that are available. What from the question that you are saying, I understand you are saying that you would have taken the default scheme in NPS Tier 2 also. So you can invest in whichever scheme you want. You can always change that scheme preference. That option is available to you.
Okay.
How to gain a
Thank you.
financial asset? Hello.
Yeah. Please continue.
Can I
Hello,
ask?
sir.
Am I
May I
audible?
ask you?
Yeah. Please.
Okay, sir.
One
my
participant
question-
at a time, please. One participant at a time, please.
Okay, my question to Dr. Suryakanta, sir. Sir, you just said that you have to think that after 10 years, what will happen, or your liabilities will increase, or 5,000 tax will increase, and so on. So, how we can predict that after 10 years or 15 years, what will going to happen? How much, what you can say, deviations are likely to be there, so that we can plan?
Yeah. I got your point. My simple answer to your query is that life otherwise is pretty uncertain. But one certainty is there, that we will need huge amount of money during different intervals of life. So whatever deviation, whatever changes will be there, but need of the money will be there. You will appreciate. If you start saving the money right from the first month of your earning and continue doing it, you will definitely be better placed as compared to other persons who are not saving or investing their money. So the only formula of success in investment, or for that matter getting sufficient money in our life, is to start investment right from the first month of your salary, continue increasing your savings, putting your conversion of your savings into investment regularly, and keep tracking of your investments. So deviation will always be there. Deviation simply means uncertainty in life. That is there. But for those uncertainties, I have told you four things at the beginning of my speech. 4 things you should do. After that, you must continue investing your savings into good products.
Is there any, Doshi sir can give any feedback with how much uncertainty will be there? Is there any?
Nobody in the world can tell you what will be the uncertainty. Nobody. If you wish, or if you know some good astrologer of your area, that you can go there. That's the only thing we can do. Otherwise, nobody can give you what our future will be. Can anybody could have predicted that pandemic will come in 2020?
Yeah, that's true.
It was there. So we have to look at the uncertainties as an opportunities.
Okay.
Uncertainties are the opportunities.
Thank you.
If I may add on this,
Good afternoon,
just a
sir.
moment. Just a moment, sir. Just a moment, sir. Just a
Please.
moment.
Nitin ji, please continue.
Ma'am, to answer your question on a different perspective, one, you should look at certainties that are there in your life. So I'll give an example. Today, a child is born. So there's a certainty that after 10 years, 15 years, 16 years, you would be requiring money for the higher education. And given the current scenario, that would be a sizable amount. So that is a certainty. So there would be these kind of certainties that, my child will get married. I need money for that. So I need to plan for those certainties at the same time. Very valid point that you had, to also account for uncertainties that would be there. And this is a balance that you need to have. That is where the financial education comes into play. Yeah, please, sir. Sorry, sir. Somebody was asking a question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question regarding, as we have 1 to 2 lakh with us in a cash. So rather than going for the FD, what are the best other investment avenues? Please suggest, sir.
Ma'am, you have FD, you have 2 lakhs of rupees, it is a good thing. You have to decide two things first before taking any investment decision. First thing is, what is your risk appetite? If you don't want any risk, then just deposit in bank account FD, that's all.
Yes, sir.
If you are younger, if you have longer horizon, if you have longer horizon of investment, suppose you don't need that 2 lakh for 10 lakhs for next 10 years, then go for some good equity scheme in mutual fund. Invest it in and forget it. Then don't see about the movements of because typically what happens, most of the people get scary when market goes down, become jubilant when market goes up if you have invested. But I will suggest that we middle class person, salary class person should have no worry about what market is doing, whether going up, whether going down, because your horizon is for 10. Suppose your horizon for 10 years. And today market is 51,000. Tomorrow it may again go down to 40,000. But again, after 1 year, it will go to 60. So why we are worried and why we are jubilant? Because my time horizon is 10 years. So kindly first decide your horizon. Secondly, your risk appetite. And then third, your time horizon. Again, your age profile. If you are young, better go for some good equity fund.
It means one-time equity fund investment, no?
Absolutely, absolutely. But again, I tell you, don't go lump sum investment. Go through STP, systematic transfer plan. That is, you put your money in some liquid fund, short, and then give instruction to transfer a particular amount. Suppose 2 lakhs you are investing, put some in liquid fund, then give instruction that every fortnight 10,000 will be transferred to the desired scheme where you are intending to invest. What will typically happen? Every week 20,000 will go from liquid fund to that scheme. So balancing will be there, because suppose today market is 51,000. After 1 week it might 52. Third week it might again be 50. So balancing average out will be there. So that benefit we will also get. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. One more thing I just forgot to mention here. Just 1 minute. Most of the professionals I know, even the fraternity, education fraternity professor, assistant professor, they have started a practice of investing their monthly salary into liquid fund. You can also do it, because this is the best way to manage your cash. A liquid fund is just like your SB account, but it is generating, even at this junction, around 4% return. Whereas in SB account, it is 2.5%. You go to the AMC and decide the app, the liquid fund, and download the app. And then suppose on first of the month, you are getting 50,000 salary. Invest 50,000 in liquid fund on first. Then suppose on 5th, you need 5,000. Go to the app, put 5,000, click withdraw button, 5,000 will be transferred to your bank account in fraction of seconds, and still 45,000 will get invested. Again on 10th, you need another 10,000. Go to the app, put 10,000, click withdraw button, 10,000 will be transferred, credited to your bank account. Still 35,000 will be kept invested. So here again, you are more efficient in generating better return than your SB account. And money is your hand. The only limitation is you can't withdraw more than 50,000 per day in a liquid fund. And liquid fund, there is literally no risk. Literally, I am telling you, because your money will not be invested into security market, but it will be in money market. So that is literally, there is no risk and better cash management. Two, three questions I have got on chat box also. One Amit has asked, do you suggest endowment fund or term insurance? Both are insurance product. In endowment, the premium is much higher. And of course, you will get some money when the policy matures. But you will appreciate that suppose you have taken a policy of 2 lakhs for 30 years. After 30 years, you might get 4 lakhs. But 4 lakhs will have no meaning at that time. So the best product available in the market is term insurance. It is very cheaper. It is very cheaper as compared to money back and endowment. Secondly, you suggested reinvesting return from investment. Yes, rule of compounding. I have most emphatically mentioned in my session that rule of compounding is simply keep reinvesting your return, whatever you are earning on your investments. What is the investment option do you suggest for young investor? The only suggestion I will give is start an SIP of 500 rupees in a good equity fund and take flare. After 4, 5 years, 3 years, you enjoy. You will feel very happy that your money or you have developed a good corpus. So SIP of minimum 500 rupees per month for 5 years.
Sir, one more question is, what's the difference between liquid fund and share market?
No, liquid fund is a part of mutual fund only. But in liquid fund, your money is not invested into share market directly, securities market. Your money is given as a loan to the financial institution for a very short period, maybe for a day, maybe for 1 week. So here the risk is literally minimized, and you are getting better returns than your SB account, and money is handy. At any point of time, you can withdraw money.
Okay, sir. So any more question? Please on your ID options, please.
Okay, sir. So, Sir Ahmed, sir, I think.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a small instruction for the participant, and we will post the feedback link, and the participants are requested to fill it up without the errors. Okay. So because in many cases we have the mail written back to us because they are posting their email ID wrongly, and please carefully do it. Okay. So we will post it very shortly, and just now you posted, and please be asked to fill it up. And at the outset, I would like to deliver the vote of thanks. And first of all, I would like to extend our gratitude to our management, Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women, Chairman Sir, Dr. Padmanaji Sir, for permitting us to conduct such type of program. And we thank our principal, Director, and Dean, Dr. P. Kamaraj, and thank you, sir, for your continuous support. And we extend our gratitude to the faculty members of Department of Commerce for their continuous support. And we would like to extend our gratitude to Professor Tirumurthy sir, Associate Professor from PRIMS, Periyar University, Salem, for being acted as a chief guest. And we extend our gratitude to Professor Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant from AMFI and former DGM SEBI. Thank you, sir. And sir has accepted our invitation despite of his busy schedule. Sir has joined with us and shared a lot of valuable information. And we would like to add up our gratitude to Sri Nitin Joshi sir, Vice President of NSDL. Sir also accepted our invitation despite of his busy schedule. He had clarified and expressed many of his experience. Thank you, sir. On behalf of our college, we extend our gratitude to you, and we would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all the participants from various parts of India, and we are being very much pride and privileged to have participants from various parts of India. And we thank the participants for their patient listening throughout the entire session. And I would like to thank our moderator, Sabzar Ahmed sir, for his continuous support with us. And once again, we thank everyone who made this session a national level webinar to a grand success. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anand. And we have been asked to fill up the feedback form without any errors to get the certificate. Okay. So thank you, sir. Thank you, all the dignitaries for being with us, sir.
Dr. Shashi Kumar, we are also thankful to your management of your college and your dean, particularly to you also for mentoring the program very well, very efficiently, to all the participants and your core team members. And we wish to be with you physically soon this pandemic goes. We will definitely like to be with you also in your college, and we'll do programs for your faculty, for your staff and students also.
Yeah,
And
thank you, sir. Thank you.
convey my regards to your principal or all senior functionaries of your college. And I am also thankful to Mr. Nitin Joshi for sparing time to be with us. He is otherwise a very busy person, but he was kind enough to accede to my request. And top of it, and lastly but not the least, Mr. Sabjar Ahmed, without whom it would not have been possible
Yeah, definitely, sir.
to connect with you. Mr. Sabjar, a big thank you to you and to
Thank you,
all
sir.
the participants, But last thing I wish to tell you, whatever you have listened, if you have find anything informative, useful, beneficial, kindly start percolating that, that thing in your life. Start thinking about yourself, your money, because early you start, better you will be better placed in your life. Thank you very much. Thank you to all.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for being
Thank
with
you.
us. Thank you, sir. Okay. Sir, can we find out the session, sir? Any participants, if you have any difficulties in receiving the certificate, please stay online. And I think most of them are receiving the certificate. Okay. Okay. So thank you, sir. Sir, Ahmed, sir, can we wait up, sir? Or shall we wait for a few more minutes? Okay, so if any of the participants having any issues, can let me know or we can end up the meeting. And designation, it's not an issue. Okay, so I think student, research scholar, faculty, and we'll add other option also. Okay, so as per the request from few participants, I have added that. Okay, so the main thing, the participant name and the college or institute or the company name, it is mandatory. So those things will be printed in the certificate. Okay, so please be careful in filling the email address, participant name, and the college name. It's a mandatory one. So since it will be printed on the e-certificate. Okay, so on behalf of our college, we would like to thank each and everyone for being with us. Thank you.